Okay. Let's get started. As I say, probably a short stream. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Because it's a little late. I got work tomorrow. But I did want to get something done. So I'll try to get a couple frames done here. So, the last time we were sorting out... Hey, what's up there, Hacks? Good to see you back. We were doing some keys. I think I have one more to do here. Yeah. Someone's feeling better. I'm feeling a bit better. Which is nice. So, able to do a little bit of work, which is nice. I definitely have to be patient, though. I'm definitely still in recovery mode. Not to mention, it's 83 in my room right now, with the AC blaring. So it's kind of warm. Okay. So, let's go ahead and figure out what this pose is going to look like, this frame. Technically, we already know what the pose is going to look like. We're actually going to, just for simplicity's sake, use this frame as our reference for the size of the head hole. So that's about right, actually. Maybe a little. Yeah, it's not the most comfortable, but it beats last year when my AC unit wasn't working at all. That was fun. So this is slightly better. It's able to keep it below by about 20 degrees, which I'll take it. Wish I could get it a little bit lower, like in the 70s, high 70s or something, but whatever. Looking forward to the electrical bill this month. That's gonna be fun. Progress. Yeah. Something. The really hard part is that the side of the house that I'm on gets really nailed by the sun in the afternoon. So it's basically just a friggin' hot box at that point. It just... So the fact that this AC unit's able to do something, because otherwise it would be like 90 degrees in here. Or hotter. So I gotta take what I can get. That's a little too big. Come on. Can't get the size of this correct. Hey, what's up, Julie? Hope you're doing well. Okay. So let's go ahead and figure out. Friends not streaming? Well, I'm glad to hear that I'm a good substitute. Let's see. I screwed this up. It's not that low. Or rather that high. So this. There we go. You know, it's kind of interesting if you ever look at official model sheets for like syndicated television and whatnot. A big part of their model sheets are like the don'ts of a character, like what you should never do under any circumstance with the character. Because it's very easy to do like a pose where like a certain thing will happen, right? Or a certain angle will be taken for like the character's hair or something like that. And so production houses and art leads and stuff like that will actually develop worksheets to be like, yeah, don't ever do this. A good example is Mickey Mouse's ears. His ears never turn sideways. They're always facing the camera, stuff like that. How long have I been working on the scene? That's a good question, actually. Jeez. A few months now, I want to say. Since March? Or February? Something like that. On and off. Every now and again, I'll really like sit down with the scene and just like really work it out, just to kind of push myself. And I'm nowhere near being done with it because there's actually some additional animation that's going to take place, both with this character and another character. It won't be as much animation though, so it should go a little bit faster. But still, you know, it takes a long time. It's just the nature of it. I will really need to figure out a method for drawing, particularly this character faster, because he's kind of tricky. He's got a lot of line mileage, kind of hidden line mileage on him. But it's a lot of line mileage I realistically don't actually have to do if I'm a little bit more conscientious about my method. Right now, I'm just kind of going overboard with his movement. More limited stuff will actually work pretty well because he's all loosey-goosey. Benefits of having him be on all puppety. The head might be a touch big. Or small, depending. It's... I'm gonna say that's a touch big. Oh, the joy of volume control. Nah, that's a touch small. Let's try that. That's better. Come on. Come on. Yeah, my lines, I've just been having a real struggle to complete my lines properly. Oh, come on. Eyes almost seem a little big, but I think it's fine. I'm gonna push that out a bit more. Man, it is warm. That's going to be one thing that really kind of limits my time streaming today. It's just getting away from my computer. This thing is unfortunately a space heater. Kind of no matter what. Stupid trucks that floor it through a neighborhood all the time. I guess. Yeah, maybe. Do I have a separate hard drive for animation? Not particularly. But I do have a backup system for my work. This just in, little PSA, always back up your files. Because goodness knows, chances are something will happen. I remember I lost a story a little while back that I had worked on when I was in middle school, years and years ago as a kid, and unfortunately, every backup I thought I had either failed due to operator error or straight up hardware failure. So I completely lost that story. I didn't take good enough care of it. It's very sad the day that I discovered that. Not that it was a good story or anything like that, but by golly, it was mine. Let me think this through a bit. Actually, truth be told, I have a number of backup systems because it's always good to have more than one. Speaking of which, I actually need to do some backup work on my stuff. Are his eyes right? I like how I just like land on long guts. They sort of are. Yeah, I'll probably just go with it. Why not? I get a little bit liberal with his eyes anyway. If there's anything to get a little bit loose with on a character, especially when they're just like floating orbs, it's eyes. Something like that. Quite that tall. Okay, let's do the arms now, and should be as simple as the sleeves here. I'm gonna cover up those folds anyway. Whatever. That now. So one thing that I'm thinking of doing is what I'm kind of calling a digital Xerox. And for those of you who know what a Xerox is referring to, or Xerox is referring to rather, you'll kind of know what I'm going for then. But for those of you who don't, the best way to describe it is Xeroxing. It's actually a brand of print, but essentially Xeroxing is taking black and white imagery and inking it down. It's a machine that would do that back in the day. and typically revolves around black and white, right? So what happened back in the 60s, late 60s, I want to say, is a lot of companies started finding ways to make animation cheaper, because of course animation is really expensive. And so they would actually, they started getting into the habit of running their pencil tests, what are called pencil tests, through a Xerox machine to avoid really intricate cleanup work. It is quite literally the reason why films from the late 60s into the late 80s have that kind of rougher line work quality, and you can even see like the guidelines and stuff like that on characters' faces and whatnot in certain frames. Is because they were that was literally the sketch, right? Typically that kind of stuff would be taken out and cleaned up, but if there is no cleanup, there is no getting rid of that. And so it gave it this kind of neat look. Some people have recreated the look in different ways. Working on Lackadaisy, we did it by hand. The cleanup team, which is ironic, right? The cleanup team is putting in the kind of Xerox lines. But I got to thinking, I was like, like the principle behind all of that stuff was that you could take line work and then kind of compress it down into a simpler format to basically do a rough cleanup, right? Is the best way I can put it. Well, we can do that really easily. Like, let's say, for example, I switch this over to monochrome. It's really crunchy right now, but I lowered the alpha threshold. So you'll notice, like, super bold, like, black and white, right? Like, in fact, that's what monochrome is. It's purely black and white, right? But you get, like, all the little mistakes and stuff like that kind of thrown in there. It's rough line work, all that kind of stuff, right? It's really easy to do that. I literally just kind of switched one little thing. And I can kind of adjust it as well if I want it to be a little less complete or what have you. And so I want to see about coming up with a technique to do that, because I work really clean. My line work is really clean. I think it's all my experience doing cleanup is just like, I just think, why not? Why not just make it that clean? That. And I need to kind of figure this out. But yeah, that would kind of, it would be ultimately sort of the same goal as, what they were trying to do back then. I'd be able to save time on cleanup. I wouldn't have to redo all this animation, basically. And it would give kind of an interesting look to it, I think. So, I'm going to see about doing that. I'm actually going to rethink this limb. Part of me wants to put it lower. Let me see what. Okay. So the elbow is more out, but it is a little bit more like that. What am I doing? I'm animating. Just doing a little scene here, which I can actually... I'll share the whole thing. One second. This is what we have so far. It's a little zoomed in. So let's zoom that out. I do think the little like lean up right there could be a little bit stronger in terms of the movement, but that's all right. It's coming along. Some of the volumes change and shift around, but for the first time animating this guy proper, I'm pretty happy with that certainly. Oh, it's still 83 in this room, but at least it's not getting hotter. In fact, it should start cooling down, hopefully sooner than later. I've got to figure this out. I'm somewhat tempted to actually, like, just do that and, like, just kind of pretend. Hey, what's up, doing stuff? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's go with that. You lose a little bit of the silhouette, but it works. Mentally drained, but in an artist mood. Oof. That is a tough spot to be. That's the point where I just noodle around on a keyboard for like 30 minutes, get tired, and say, okay, I'll do something later. Okay. This head's actually a little small. But we won't worry about that. I went really light on this line work here. But that's the nice thing about if I'm going to Xerox it. I don't need to worry about that, because it'll come through regardless. So, that's kind of a nice thing with it as well. Kind of equalizes out all the way. Okay. And the box is going to be like right here. Something like that. I want him to really kind of lean over it. All right, so now that we have our keys down, we can start in between. And in particular, we're going to be doing the breakdown frames first. So let's go ahead and find that. Okay, so we'll put it right in the middle. there. And actually, the nice thing as well is I could do some place and trace, which I think I will actually. Place and trace is becoming one of my favorite techniques because boy howdy is it handy. All right, we want this frame to be. Oh shoot, no, we want frame 29. Where are you? Okay, so frame 29. Oops. Oh, come on. Over here. So right about there. I might need to rotate it a touch as well. So. And as I explained previously, place and trace is where you, it's a technique where you, is that, am I off? 1 second. It's probably just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that always throws me off. The goofy playback isn't perfect, but okay. Place and trace is where you're able to why is that already sideways? That's interesting. Okay, hold on. Let me think this through. Take frames, and in the case of traditional animating, they would literally pick up the frame off of the peg bar and place it down in a way that allowed them to kind of trace over it. I need, hold on. You don't want to go that far. That 29, a little bit more give on that. Although, yeah, actually, I want a little bit more give on that because this settles and then he kind of springs back up. So we want to bias towards the bottom frame, actually. That's right in between. Turn that off real quick. Let's do like that and like that. Maybe a little more. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. And I usually just use it for the head, which is usually what the technique is kind of reserved for. Otherwise, you can kind of like get lost. It becomes like in betweening with the onion skin. Let's do that. Okay. All right. Finally. And we are. I just realized I need to change this color so I actually have distinction. Okay. We're biasing towards that frame. So. And I don't need to worry too much about the back edge because I'm going to be redoing parts of it anyway, because I do the hood on a separate layer because it's done straight ahead. Technically I could put it on the same layer, but it's a little bit easier to just put it on a separate layer. Come on. The nice thing is I shouldn't have to do this again for the other in-betweens. The other in-betweens aren't as important. This is primarily to get the initial actually we're gonna slightly lower. Put that a little higher. Honestly, higher. This way. More or less like that. And like that. Come on. Come on. I can't get that right. Now, come on. That, what is this? Okay. Okay, let's go and turn those both off. And let's check it. Actually, I want to move it down just a touch. That works. Okay. Now for the fun part. how sharp that goes back. Let's straighten it out just a touch more. Push this down a bit more. And these do bend a little funny. I'm actually gonna change up the key here. Actually gonna shorten the lathe a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna raise this leg up a bit. actually going to have the finger slightly out. That. Slightly out. Other fingers. Slightly more out. Might actually have to get rid of the thumb, otherwise that could get confusing. Yeah, that's better. Sometimes you have to adjust your frames for the clarity of the motion. I think I need to curve this one. Let's see, we got about an hour. All right. I'll see if I can get one more frame done after this. We have this really long stretch here that's gonna be fun. So, you know, that'll be great. little bit of a pop there I don't much care for. So I'm actually gonna... That's better. Okay, that's right. And his leg is lifting there, so... But we're gonna bias it towards this bottom here. Looks pretty good. Gone for an hour. All right. I can do one more frame. Two. actually gonna widen the hood just a touch more and move the eyes. Oh, come on. Man, this stream has a hard time, doesn't it? Oh, I forgot to do the leg rings here. Still Chiptune FM, yeah. Krella's relay hasn't come back online, so just been doing Chiptune FM, yeah. Which, to be clear, has been good. Just good chiptune music. Been playing the classics. You know, if I wanted to, I could check out Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio actually is a, technically it's Jet Set Radio Future.live. I think they're still up and running. Let me check, it's been a while. Yeah, no, they're still up and running. But they got a chiptune channel actually. You can't listen to the other channels really, unfortunately, on there because, you know, they got copyright music and all that. But they're a good one to go to if you just are looking for music. I usually listen to the Noise Tanks channel. Yep. Good old Eurythmics. We'll see if I get bashed for this. I think that there are some like 8-bit remixes that will actually get you dinged. Never thought you'd hear this in chiptune. Just about everything's been made into chiptune, honestly. Anything moderately successful / popular. It's like, yeah. Someone has gone out of their way to turn it into an 8-bit remix. It's funny, I don't think I've ever heard another Eurythmics song. Oh man, in-betweening is so much faster than keys. There's so much you can get away with. If it looks good in motion, you're good. So you can kind of play fast and loose with the anatomy. We're actually gonna really bias to this frame because I don't want him lifting his foot just yet. If anything, actually, I want him to actually kind of like be settling in to that foot. Just give a just utterly lightest touch of anticipation that I can. This sounds like, honestly, it sounds like Anamanaguchi. But it's not, it's Rocket Chip. Zero Gravity Love. Just honestly, that's a great name for a chiptune artist. Rocket Chip. We do have to get this right. We have a lot of like little subtle movement going on here, so we gotta kind of actually buckle down and get that right. Actually, I have heard this song before. The version you listened to was a different one? Like a version of Sweet Dreams? I don't know if I've ever heard an alternate version. I'm trying to think if I feel like I have. One that was done by like a different artist or something like that. But I'm not sure. Huh. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'd be curious. I'm sure it's been covered by a lot of different people. I don't care for that. Arc, hold on. That's better. Don't forget, watch your arcs. And by arcs, I literally mean how the hand moves. So you'll notice that the arm, base of the arm, or where the wrist is rather, moves in sort of an arc. You want that. That's good. Everyone wants to know the secret behind smooth animation. It's spacing and arcs. It's not frame rate. Sure, things might morph together like freaking spaghetti if you just cram a bunch of frames into something, but it doesn't look good. Secret to good movement, spacing and arcs. The secret to lively movement is timing and anticipation. Oh, come on. Oh, that really went out. Come on. There it goes. Oh, dang it. Okay. Did that wrong. That's alright, that'll make it a little easier to fit. That's not correct. always really difficult getting stuff like this right, where the character has their arms like clutched up against themselves. It can be very difficult to get to maintain the form without cluttering it too much, which I fear might already be the case. Gonna have it switch right there. Honestly, I might. Nah, I can't do that. Nah, I won't overthink it. What's this? Yeah. Stage 1 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Thought I recognized that. Alright. Yeah, it looks pretty good. His hands are maybe a little too active. Him like pointing like that kind of indicates like pause, but that's all right. Gives him kind of an uncertain quality to his movement. And it's not like it's unbelievable movement. It's fun little subtleties. Okay, but with that being said, I can't stream for too long right now, unfortunately. I'm still in recovery mode, and sitting around really does kind of take its toll on me. So, yeah. So I will try to be back on Thursday. Gonna give it a shot. Day before 4th of July, so I have the next day off, so I have no reason not to. But with all that being said, I will hopefully be back on Thursday. Hopefully I'm feeling up to it. I should be. And yeah, thank you to everyone who stopped by. There's a few people who came and said hi. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, so there'll be more coming. We're getting through this animation. We'll get it done eventually. That's how it goes. And then we'll move on. I definitely will be trying to get the comic on a roll here soon. But like I said, I'm still in recovery mode, so I'm just getting what I can done. And right now I've been feeling more like animating. But it is really killing me that I haven't gotten another part of the comic done in like close to a year, which is crazy. These pages have been really demanding, and I've had a lot of stuff come up, including multiple hospital visits. So, yeah, it sometimes would be like that. But we'll get back into it. We'll make some good progress. Once the line work is done on the comic, the color should go a lot faster. So I'm looking forward to that. You should as well. And yeah, so until next time, have a good one, guys. Keep working on stuff. Keep being creative. It's important for yourself. And yeah, I will catch y'all later. Have a good one. Goodbye.